Uba We're starting in 4 minutes time. We're starting. We're starting now in about 3 minutes time. Oh, I didn't bring anything to wipe my eye when they get all teary and everything. We're starting now in a minute's time. Okay. I'm hearing that there is actually a blank on the live. Someone says things are a little bit blank. Hello, Sam. Hi. Please let me know if you can see me because there are others that are saying they can't see me. Can you see me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Oh, I really wish I brought something to wipe my teary eyes. Mm. Uh, okay, we're starting now in 30 seconds time. All right. Okay. So you can see and hear me clearly. Thank you for that compliment. We're starting now. Dimahi Dioyona Prachodaya Om Pubhasva Tatsavrituvade Enyam Bhagodevasya Dimahi Dio Yona Prachodaya. Welcome, Soul Tribe. Welcome, everyone. If you don't know, that track is um, um, Galim. It's Gayatri Mantra. It's Gayatri Mantra by Galim, and the album I believe is Lemon and Soul, or something to that effect. Gayatri Mantra is a Sanskrit mantra, and this helps us to welcome the presence of the divine into the space. But really, it is us transporting ourselves into the presence of the divine. So, welcome. Today, we're going to be looking at think like a narcissist, act like an empath. You know, one of the biggest reasons why we are only finding out now that, we are actually having some predators in our midst, and we've been having predators in our midst for a very long time as the human species. And so one of the biggest reasons why we are only finding out, in the past 10 years or so, that this is what we are dealing with is the fact that narcissists, majority of them are covert, right? Most narcissists are covert narcissists. Most narcissists, they hide themselves. There are certain people that would say that covert narcissists are, the vulnerable type of narcissists, and yes, they are to a certain extent and so forth. But when you're really dealing with a covert narcissist, to the most part, you're dealing with someone um, who's sort of like borderline psychopathic. All right, because this is someone that's fully aware of what they are, and they've consciously made a decision to go undercover and to masquerade as something else so that they are not discovered, as the predator that they are, which makes it easier for them to do what predators do, which is to prey, and not, Pray, of course, Prey. So most narcissists masquerade as sensitive, kind, loving, caring, warm, and generous people. Basically, they pretend to be empaths. All right. I don't know if you've ever, you know, had any situation where you found yourself dealing with someone that is a narcissist, but you discovered late that you are dealing with a narcissist. The whole entire time, you thought you were dealing with an empath. You thought you were dealing with a sensitive person. Have you ever been in that situation where you actually thought you were dealing with this type of a person, and then only to later find out that you're really dealing with something else? And just, before I go deeper into this conversation, I just want to say, with regards to my look today, I've, overdone it a little bit, but I really just wanted to play with the colors. All right. I really just wanted to, enjoy um, the colors. I don't know if any of you know that, over and above the fact that, I'm a spiritual practitioner and so on, but I actually also have a background in beauty and fashion. So I just, what inspired me was actually the earrings, and I had the top, and I thought, oh, okay, let's play, let's see what can happen. But anyway, let's go back to this whole narcissism thing. Have you ever been in a situation where you thought you were dealing with an empath? You thought you were dealing with a soft, quiet, shy, withdrawn person, only to find out that you were actually dealing with, a very predatory human being. Have you ever been in that situation? Because narcissists do this. By the time you find out what you're dealing with, majority of the time, it's too late. They've already stung, they've already bitten you. They they are empaths, on the outside, and narcissists on the inside. They know who and what they are, and they regularly allow you to see, that dark side of who they are. But after showing you how evil they are, after showing you that dark side, after allowing that mask to drop, what they will often do is turn around again and gaslight you. Once again, pretending to be that warm, loving, kind, sweet, soft, gentle, and empathetic person. All right. And so that's one of the things that, drives people crazy when they are in relationships with narcissists, all kinds of relationships with narcissists. This is what people end up having to deal with. All right. So we are grateful for the light of Christ, which has, brought all of these things to the surface. Because if it wasn't for Christ, if it wasn't for divine intervention, if it wasn't for spiritual intervention, there's no way that we would have been able to discover or to understand that we are dealing with demonic entities right here when it comes to narcissistic people. All right, there was no way that we are going to know that. It's because of divine intervention. If it were up to narcissists, they would remain undercover for as long as possible, because being undercover works for narcissists. They need to operate in hiding. you know they have to always be that hidden hand, isn't it? And so if they have to stand right in the bright in the light of day, they're not going to be able to withstand that, because the light, when it exposes them, what it does is it dissolves them. All right, so we are dealing with a situation where narcissists are aware that they are about to go into extinction because of the light that is shining radiantly on the planet. So they're either going to, change. God knows how, highly impossible that is. They're either going to have to change, or they're going to, you know, this world is just not going to be pleasant for them. So the tides are turning, the tables are turning. Over the past, several thousands of years, we've been dealing with a problem where narcissists have had the upper hand, narcissists have always been in charge. But now things are turning around, and empathy is coming to the forefront. And unfortunately, of course, things are a little bit chaotic right now. When because when empathy is basically, whenever it is that the planet goes through massive changes, there's going to be a little bit of chaos, you understand? So we're experiencing a change in sort of regime, if we should call it that way. And so this change, you know before this dark force, that has been in charge of humanity all along, before it ultimately decides, okay, fine, I'm going to give up, you know I'm going to accept that I've been defeated. And let's face it, the dark aspect of reality, the narcissistic stream of consciousness, hardly ever gives up. So it will only ever give up because, like, literally, it no longer has a fight, and it would have been tied up by the cosmic forces. And so between now and then, it's going to do everything in its power to just keep fighting. We're going to experience or witness those last kicks of a dying horse. That's really what we are dealing with right now. Okay. um but we are really grateful. We are really, really grateful for the light of Christ and what is happening right now, because once again, you don't get to see this thing. There's no way we would have seen this thing and identify. Do you understand how well a narcissist gets to hide themselves? No one can hide like a narcissist can literally hide themselves right, in front of a wall, and you will not see them. You understand? This is why for thousands of years we were not, aware that there is such a thing as a narcissist. They have mastered the art of emulation, of mirroring, of copying, and of pretending to be empaths. And this is why majority of the time when dealing with narcissists, you don't even realize who you are dealing with until it's too late. And so this is why it's so important for us to understand how narcissists think, because between now and that time when empathy will be the mainstream of consciousness, because right now we are coming out of a dispensation where narcissism has been the mainstream of consciousness. So we are moving into a dispensation where empathy is going to be the mainstream of consciousness. However, between now and then, we're still dealing with the momentum that has already been established that has to do with narcissism. And so it's important, between now and then to understand how they think and operate so that we can keep ourselves safe. So we need to you know, be able to know how narcissists think. You know, think like a narcissist. Put yourself a little bit in their shoes to say, okay, so if I was a cold blooded predator and somehow I was fortunate enough to have the embodiment of a human being, what would I do? How would I go about um, doing this thing that I do best, which is to prey on others? And I mean, hey, you're talking about, apex predator status here, right? Because, unlike a lion, unlike a snake, unlike, some animal in the wilderness, you have all the, access to anything that you would want to prey upon, that basically you are living the dream of a predator. A shark is limited to the sea, and therefore it cannot access, human beings. It cannot access all sorts of things that, a typical predator would be able to access. But you, as a human being, and as a predatory human being, you've got access to all these things. A shark, a lion, they can't talk, they can't deceive. You can do that. You understand? So as an empath, you want to put yourself in that space where you are thinking like a narcissist, just a little bit, to be able to see, okay, this is how these people operate, this is how they think, and so this is how it would be best for me to protect myself. Of course, I've taken this title from, that book by Steve Harvey that says, think like a man, act like a lady. All right. And so, of course, Steve Harvey may not necessarily be, one of the people that, you, like, oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay. So this live stream had to be interrupted because, I forgot to let you know that I'm on call duty. I'm going to have to end the stream and come back in again and redo this. Oh, dear Lord. I am so, so sorry. I really am. I'm so sorry. Oh.